Well, I got the baling all done. At least for now. I still gotta go pick them all up. They're all out there yet. But it actually went much better than it's ever went before. Which is, evidently maybe the baler just needed a rest, because it's been at least 5 years since I run that baler. But I soaked everything down, and she worked. The one knotter, well, when I first started out, both knotters were screwing up, which is why there's all this extra twine hanging here. So I had to redo a couple, or a few, probably about 5, maybe 6 bales. Then she caught on and she started working, but sometimes the knotter on this side doesn't get it quite right. But they're kind of a mystery. You know, they're complicated contraption that makes that knot. But I'm going to play around with it a little bit. Before I do, I want to switch. You know, I happen to have plastic twine in it. That's what was in there. So that's what I was using. But this baler, I think, is really intended to use the regular old twine. But I had that in, so... Yeah, there was a wasp nest in there at one time. But, I actually, you know, it went so well. The only thing I had this chain jump off. Well, this chain, all it runs is that auger that's down inside there. You know, so when that stops, well, yeah, okay, then you gotta... But, I think she's kind of out of adjustment here. And I was looking at it, and them sprockets are really worn. Well, I don't know, it don't look too bad. I can maybe patch that together. Oh, and I did have this pin sheared one time. Well, I MacGyvered a nail in there. But I can maybe, I'll have to play with that if I can get a little more adjustment out of that. Or back it all the way off and take a link out of it. But like I said, there's no timing critical on that. That just runs that auger. But that's the only thing I had, was a chain jump once and that little pin go out. Never sheared a regular main pin. And the bales are really solid. They're very heavy bales. Excellent, you know, still green, kind of, you know, just the way I want them to be. So I'm tickled with that. All I got to do now, like I say, is go pick them all up. And I think the stretch along right in here, the windrows are fairly big, so then, you know, the pickup on these is fairly narrow. So it's slopped a little over on the sides, like you can see, like right here when it does that. So what I might do is go pick those bales up and then just run through it once with a rake, and I could get maybe 4 more bales out of there. It might be worth taking the time to do it. Cleans it up nice anyway. But since it went so well, like I say, better than it's ever gone. I know, which is why I've actually done earlier than I thought I would be. I have another patch. Well, I've got a stock pond over there. There's a big open spot by that stock pond that, well, it looks like this, you know, where you got weeds and that's leafy spurge, which you don't want. And it's even low enough where there's some cattails in there, but it's real rough ground and it's never been hayed. But I'm thinking I could actually go in there, mow that, and see if it's worth bale it. But I think I want to get it mowed, unless the mower breaks down and that stuff. The problem is there's a lot of like pocket gopher mounds where they get to be, like a foot high. And there's a lot of big ant hills and stuff like that. It's fairly rough ground. So I want to get back in there and kind of flatten that out so I'd have future hay and ground in there. And I wouldn't dare use that rake. I think that would bust that one up. But I have one of the big wheel rakes. Even if I had to rake this stuff all together and burn it, just to get it cleaned up in there and get the weeds out of there. Because, like I say, what happens up here, if you don't keep after it, it all goes to weeds and trees. The trees come up all over. In fact, I noticed, like every time you log a fence line, you put in a fence, like here now you get all these little box elders grow because you don't get close enough to the fence when you mow. But I did notice a little chokecherry tree starting. Well, that's good. I could yank these box elders out of here. They're nothing but a problem. But a good chokecherry is good to have. So, not all trees are bad, but like I say, I've got a lot of trees, so I got to thin some of them out. Or this will, because technically I'm trying to use it for pasture, well, if you get a lot of trees, it doesn't make much pasture.